This is Dr. Parikh, and I'm doing a screencast to show you around Blackboard for Gen Psych I. This is for fall 2016. There might be small differences, but when it changes significantly, I'll do a new video. This is the home page. This is where you end up. I'm not doing the student preview on this, so things will look just a touch different. And that's because for some reason I just built the course and it doesn't want to show me the calendar if I use the student preview. So the home page tells you any announcements. So if there's any big changes, anything that happens, if there's a snow day or if the weather's really bad, I would send you an announcement. And usually I email those out. If it's annoying to you, I'm sorry, but when I ask students, they say they would rather get them by email. You can look to see what's new. There's a lot new right now because I just loaded the course. And over here, what's really helpful is it tells you what assignments are coming up and if there's anything that's past due. And this is, it looks a little different because for me, it's about what students have. You come here to start here, and things should look pretty similar here. I'll put on the student preview for now. And I'll take it off when I get to the calendar. So when we go to start here, you see I have, this is where this video will be, and I'll have a video from Blackboard. I'll also have, here's one from me that talks about how to download an article PDF, which is important when you do your paper. And this is where you can find copies of the syllabus and the schedule. You can also get links to places related to the book. Here's an email etiquette guide. It's something that I put together basically to help students know how to write a professional email. A lot of students seem to just have never needed to write professional emails before. So if you ever get an email from me saying that you need to rewrite your email because it's difficult for me to understand or it's not professional enough, this is where you can learn more. And you can always come to office hours for help too. So under start here, there's kind of just some odds and ends like that. If I ever need to hold class over Adobe Connect, there's instructions for that. A lot of these are opening up as Word documents, which have to download. I may change some of those to PDFs so that they open right in the window. And I'll show you an example of that. When I click Syllabus, it opens right in the window because it's a PDF. The problem is that the way that I usually do this on my Mac, it takes away the links. So this one's okay because you can copy it and paste it, and I'm just using keyboard shortcuts to do that. Oh, that's not great because I just checked that link. Let's see if this one, oh, and that one is willing to link. Weird. At any rate, I lose a good number of my links when I do it through a PDF. So if you have trouble, you should be, oh, so some of them are linked, but when we come down here and I have links that aren't a web address where I have written words instead of the link, it doesn't link. If you come over to the schedule, I took the time to do this one a little differently. It's a lot more time consuming, so I only do it on the schedule because if you're looking for something, you can come here and you can see even the things that don't have links to them, they link just, like don't have the web address, they link just fine. So you can find, the syllabus is the full syllabus, it's all the policies, it explains the points breakdowns, it explains the different assignments. The schedule is just the schedule, and if you just want to look to see what we're doing or when something is due, this is your best bet. And all of these links here, these video links, are also done individually. I also have a separate link that takes you right to Launchpad. This is where you can access an e-copy of the book. You can buy just the ebook if you want. You can also buy a copy of the book that includes the ebook, or you can do a free trial. And then make an appointment. You can book online with me for office hours through You Can Book Me. It's a really cool website. Students really like, they say it's easy and that they like it. You can get a reminder. So you can just see when I'm available, click, fill out a really quick form, and you'll get an email telling you when it is. I think there's even a link where you can add it right into your calendar. And I will have these updated with this the current semester's classes. So those are some of the links there. We get down, so these are quick links. They're meant to help you access basic information quickly. Then there's course content. Most of the time that you're coming to do something, this will be the section that you want. And you'll click on the folder for what week it is, and you'll see you can watch the videos right in here. You can press play and it'll come here.
And it's no surprise
you can
that
also,
many of us are determined to study
that's share, that's not what I want.
Longer, but
there. So if you click right here,
so many prices out there for the exact
you
same
can go straight to the video. If you want to, for example, if you wanted to do it full screen. These, you can set it the speed. So if it's a kind of a slow video, you can go a little faster than normal. If it's a little quick and you need a little more time to process the information, you can go slow. And I usually like to watch with closed captioning. I find that I catch more of the words and I pay better attention. Most of the closed captioning isn't perfect. It's just kind of computer generated, so there's some funny mistakes. But I find that it helps, especially if I want to get through things more quickly. I do it double time with closed captioning. Otherwise, I don't catch all the information. So first, and it should be set up in order of exactly how you need to go through. So you watch this video, and then you see Prologue Journal. Each class, you'll have a journal to do, and it's usually related to the video and the reading. This one's a little different. It's setting 3 goals for the semester. At least one of them needs to be related to this course. And you can just click text submission, write submission, and you can just write it right in here. My 3 goals are as follows. And you can just put a numbered list in and let's see, read, and then I would just do my list. Let's see. And then I would say in the next 7 days. These are usually meant to be 2 to 4 sentences should be enough. You need to express a clear opinion. I want to know what you think about this. And it's okay if you don't have, your own completely different view from what the text in the video says. I just want to hear you in your own words. What do you think about it? And you will say, yep, I understand that it's going to submit to the global reference. You don't need to write this in Word and then attach it. That's just not necessary. It's meant to be a fairly quick thing to write. You would normally hit submit, of course. And so this is something you'll do each time, and it basically is to show me that you've read, you've watched the video, and you've taken some time to think. You'll also have a quiz to do before we start each chapter. And I said quiz, but I call it a reading check to keep it separate from the other quizzes. And these are usually 10 questions. This one's short, and each one is worth a quarter point of extra credit. So if you get them all right, you get a full bonus point. And it's just to help you get familiar with how the quizzes and reading checks work here. So these are handpicked by me. They're meant to help you look through the key terms. If you use Launchpad, you can actually, there's e-texts that you can search. So I'm just going to hit OK and submit it. I was just clicking random things. OK to view results. And so I got 2 right because I got a half point. Remember, this one's a little weird. And with these, all you get at first is your score. After the due date, you'll be able to see all your answers. And so you can see, then it sort of goes on. So the reading check is the last thing you do. And then it goes on for chapter 1. There's a video, a journal, and a reading check. And then there's quizzes for both of them. You can take the quizzes as many times as you want. You get to see the correct answers immediately, but it's from a huge pool. A lot of these are more than 200 questions. And so these I didn't handpick. There's going to be some of them that are on topics from the textbook that I didn't really talk about in class and I don't think are important for the test. But you can take it as many times as you want. There's 10 questions in each one. And these are worth more points because you can really take you can take them as many times as you want. And so I want to give you more points for that because you can take it as many times as you need to get the score you want. These are a great way to study because these questions are taken from the same pools where I get my test questions. So even though they're not handpicked by me, they're still a great way to keep quizzing yourself over and over. Quizzing yourself is one of the best ways to learn, and you can review the questions immediately. The other ones you have to wait until after the due date, so until the day of class, to review them. So we go, I'm going to leave that. We go back to the chapter assignments, and you can see it keeps going for each one. So usually the first couple weeks I keep it a little easy on you, but normally for each class you'll actually watch 2 videos and do a journal. Again, you do a reading check before the first time we cover the chapter in class, and then after that you just do videos and a journal for each class. And that kind of helps structure us, it helps us move. And the quiz, you can start taking them as early as you want to. You have to take them, they're due at midnight the night before the exam. And that's all in the calendar. Key terms, handouts, these are really helpful for, and again, they're in Microsoft Word, but I may start moving them over to PDF to make it a little easier to look up. What you'll notice is that it has 3 columns. One of them says need to know. These ones are the most important. The biggest percentage of test questions will come from these topics over here. Then there's should know. These are things that are important. They'll make up to a third of the test, roughly, from these topics. And the last one is good to know. So only a small percentage of test questions will come from here. There will be a few questions, though, and there will be a few other questions that may not be anywhere on the sheet. So this column tells you what's most important to study if you want to just focus on passing or getting an okay grade. If you want to get a really great grade, you have to go all the way to the good to know because there will be questions from there. Essay questions. These are hugely important for you to use as you study because I'm basically giving you the questions before the test. You can write out your answer. You can even come into office hours if you have a question about one of the essay questions. You're not sure how to answer it. Now, on the actual test, I may give you a choice of 2. One of the questions from here and a question from the book, or from a question that's not on the sheet. And so there will often be other essay question options. But if you're pretty comfortable with all the questions that are on these study sheets, you should be pretty good when it comes to the essay questions for the test. And I make those questions worth a little more, because you can prepare. And then there's also some examples of bonus questions. I always have a few bonus questions, usually one for each chapter, and then another one that says, talk about a video that we watched in class or a discussion from class and explain how it relates. So key terms handouts, again, right now they're set as Word documents that download. I may move those over to PDFs so that they come up in the window like, for example, the schedule does, because that's a little easier. You don't have to download it and open it. PowerPoints, these are rough and dirty. These may or may not look like what we go over in class. The notes may have some mistakes in them because they're meant as my notes and I sometimes make mistakes. But students find it really helpful to have a PowerPoint. One word, I highly, highly recommend taking actual notes by hand in class. It's tempting to use a computer or to just look at the PowerPoints, but research suggests part of learning is figuring out what to write down, and we'll watch some videos about that in class. And then last, study groups are a great way to study, to learn, and so I've made it so you could just create a thread if you're looking for people to study with. So I tried to make it a little easier, and then there's also in here some resources about how to use study groups effectively, how and why. I highly, highly recommend study groups, and if you remind me in class, I usually offer a bonus point at some point if you do like a selfie of you in a group studying. APA and writing assignments. These go through your assignments. I'm going to go out of student preview to show you this because I have it set up so that you only see the first, that's not where I want to go. I have it set up so that you only see the plagiarism one until you complete it with a perfect score. And there's a link that'll help you. This is a tutorial about plagiarism. The questions shouldn't be terribly hard. The hardest one might be this, because I want you to say in 1 to 2 sentences each in your own words what these 3 are. And your own words is really important, because if you found it on Google, I can too. And you got to give me a couple days to grade this and send it back to you if it's not ready yet. So I highly recommend doing this as soon as you can. As soon as possible, do this for the first time, because this is one that I will let you retake as many times as you need to for full credit, as long as you get it finished on time, the final time. Once you get 5 out of 5 on that, yep, I'm okay with leaving that page. You'll be able to see all the rest of the assignments. So the purple ones are APA homeworks. So those are all those, it's the quiz style. But I call it homework because it's not meant to be a quiz that you take and, just off of memory or gut. It's really meant to be something that you can use as many resources as you want. You can ask me questions. You can go to the librarians or the writing center. There are a lot of people to help you with APA style. And so this is meant to help you learn. After that first plagiarism one, let's see, I have said you can still take this one as many times as you want, but you have to get it in by the due date. If it's late, you get a 0. That's just how it is. And that's how it is for all of the quizzes. The only exception is the plagiarism one, because I want to really make sure that you get your full credit for it. Or I'm sorry, that you finish it. If it's late, you still get the penalty of 5% a day. Article PDF, so there's different, in green are the different assignments from the paper itself. So this is one where you're going to download a PDF of your article and then upload it. And you can see there's usually, so here there's a YouTube video that can help you. And then you can also see some of them have files attached, like templates or rubrics, and it tells you when it's due. I highlight it so that I know what I need to change from semester to semester, and because it helps it stand out to you. So there's 3 APA homeworks, and then there's this file upload, and then 3 paper assignments. And so here's a paper or a file that has all those templates that you saw links to, and also has some sample papers. There's 2 of them that I'll warn you. The first semester I did this class, I let people do MLA style if they wanted to, or APA. I said it just has to be right, but I found it was more confusing to students to tell them they could do different styles, and so I switched to it has to be APA style, but we spend a lot more time in class talking about how to do APA style, and I keep it pretty simple. Here, I'll open the template for you, which is in Word, so you can open it. I do not recommend using Google Docs with these. I love Google Docs, but Google Docs doesn't quite do all the formatting you need for this. So I highly recommend, even if it means, even if you just kind of write your text in Google Docs and then transfer it over to Word using like a library computer, I really encourage you to actually use Word for this. Pages can kind of do it, but really for APA style, I recommend just using Word. And so I really explained to you what each section needs to have, how much it needs, how many points it's worth, how long it should be. And so if you read through this rubric or this template and do what it says, you'll be fine. You'll be golden. So I require APA style, but really all you have to figure out how to do is to fill in the blanks here, and then you have to figure out how to cite your one article in APA style. But once you figure it out, it's pretty easy from there. And again, there's several sample papers that so you can get a sense of and these are all A papers. Some of them may have even gotten above 100%, or no, some of them got pretty close to 100%. Paper resources, this is a good place to get more information. So for example, this used to be in the syllabus, but I wanted to save paper, so I stuck it here instead. This gives you some ideas of how to approach this article. This is going to be a hard paper to write because you've never had to critique a scientific article before, most likely. So here's a link. How is this? So this links to the same thing that's over here. And then you also see so here's websites to get help for writing. And then also avoiding plagiarism. Plagiarism is very serious. I typically report 1 to 2 students a semester, sometimes more, for violating the academic integrity policy, basically for plagiarizing. Often it's because they copied directly from their article. I don't seem to have many students who are just buying a paper, but a lot of people accidentally or on purpose copy directly from their article, and that's not okay. And I will report it, and you'll get a 0 on the assignment. So I try to be very clear about plagiarism. And then last, if you want, this is again just kind of a place where you can click in here and you can create a thread and say, does anyone want to exchange papers? You can also just say in class, hey, does anyone want to exchange papers? But if you want to do it through there, that's fine. My grades, you'll be able to click on and see, but I can't show you that. And then calendar, I put just about everything with the due date just to help you track. Even things that don't really have a due date, like don't have a piece like tests, there's absolutely nothing you need to do in Blackboard for the test, but I give it a due date so that you know when it's coming. So as you look through, you can see your due dates. And something really cool I just noticed is that you can actually you can pull all of this information into like your Google account or your whatever you use for calendars. And I found if you just Google how to export your Blackboard calendar. Let me see, what did I actually Google? Yeah, importing calendar from Blackboard. Either, just Google something and it'll tell you, there are guides that will help you figure out how to do that. So that's, if you like to use your digital calendar, that's a great way to stay organized. I think that's everything I need to show you from here. Again, yours may look slightly different based on what semester it is, but this should give you a pretty good sense of where things are and how to do things. If all else fails, if you're not really sure where to find the things you need, just kind of start with the calendar and just pull up whatever's next. And part of this is going to look a little different because you're going to have a student view, but unfortunately right now my student view isn't working with the calendar, or at least it wasn't. Let me double check. Yeah, it's still, for whatever reason, my student view isn't wanting to show me the calendar quite the way you'll see it, but it should have, also if you go to the home page, it should pull up your assignments for the future. Good luck, and follow up with me in office hours or on campus if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.